Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. This is a question I get from foreigners here in the kingdom. I've also been asked this by oftentimes relatives of clients of the firm. What's immigration detention like? What's the immigration detention center like? Have you been there? What do you think of it? I have been there. I have not been incarcerated there, but I've actually been to the facility. I've seen people who are incarcerated in the facility, and quite frankly, it's not a place anyone would really want to be. That being said, I don't think you could say that there's anything inhumane per se about it. It's just simply like any facility that incarcerates inmates. It's not some place that you particularly want to be. The other thing that's interesting about the Immigration Detention Center is that it's by definition a more transitory institution. So whereas a prison, and I've made another video on this channel with respect to Thai prisons specifically, whereas with prisons, I've always gotten the impression here in Thailand that, for lack of a better term, they're somewhat laid back insofar as you're there, you're incarcerated, it is what it is. And the guards and everybody that are there it's more sedentary, for lack of a better term. It's just, there's not a lot going on. Whereas with immigration detention, there can be, because people are processing in and out. Oftentimes at immigration detention, you see people who've been incarcerated in the kingdom for crimes who are now being deported, so those people are being processed through. There's a kind of weird airport waiting room or sort of airport lounge aspect to it. And don't take the word lounge the wrong way. There's nothing about the Immigration Detention Center that particularly resembles a lounge. It can be a rather stark place to be incarcerated. Most of the clients I've had that have had to go through immigration detention want to get out of it as quickly as possible. Oftentimes we at the firm, especially in matters pertaining to those who had a criminal conviction in the kingdom and are being deported, we oftentimes try and are largely successful in expediting deportation so one does not have to spend a prolonged period of time in the immigration detention center. The other thing that we oftentimes see, especially with prolonged overstayers and especially those with with expired passports, those folks are trying at all costs to avoid immigration detention. Sometimes it's possible if their situation is such they can simply pay their fine and leave the kingdom, but other times it might need to be processed through the apparatus, and in those situations, basically one is, for lack of a better word, stuck with the system as you take it. Again, we try to expedite our clients through IDC as quickly as possible. Sometimes, a night or two spent down there or more may simply just be the nature of the beast, and you just have to deal with it and get through it. That being said, it's not a place people particularly want to go. I've been down there. It's not a place I particularly love to visit. But that being said, oftentimes our cases involve us needing to deal with it, and we go down there and deal with it accordingly.